Hey everybody. I'm just sitting here drinking my coffee and I wanted to play with something as I'm reflecting on some lesson studies that I did in a local school district last week. I've changed the names of the learners that I was working with and de-identified them in this little quick demonstration video. I've also changed their location. And Claude, as I understand it, does not train on user data. That's an important thing to remember. But I wanted to show you the way that I am thinking about using AI, particularly in the context of supporting very young writers. I just finished a lesson study. It was just a 30-minute lesson, and we were digging into the importance of multiliteracy approaches inside of our writing workshops with young writers especially. And I taught a lesson on using verbs and adverbs to show rather than tell. And I honestly don't like using that language. It's wrapped up in a lot of different cultural implications that I'm only beginning to understand the problematic nature of. But it's a common lesson that we teach inside of our schools. And I love teaching young writers how to use the parts of speech as tools that can help them gain confidence and also craft more sophisticated stories that they're actually writing for real audiences. And that's what we were playing with. When we look at the writing samples, though, it can be really hard to figure out where to go next because writing is very complex. And to really make an honest and thorough assessment of this very small writing sample, which is really, less than a paragraph long, really, there's a lot going on here, and it can be very challenging, especially for inexperienced teachers, young teachers, and quite honestly, veteran teachers who are super overburdened with teaching so many different subject areas to really look into a piece of writing and tease out where support is needed. And so I went into ChatGPT and I used the prompt that you see here, analyze this writing sample, and define the specific language skills that the young writer is demonstrating. What are they ready to learn and practice next? And I really appreciate a focus on strengths-based assessment and language when we're prompting AI and when we're talking with one another about student writing too. It's not, what did this writer do wrong or what's weak? It's what are they showing you, they're ready to do next. And honestly, this writer took a lot of risks in using very complex vocabulary words in third grade, and that was really exciting. So the response that I received, you'll see it here, is giving me some very specific things to focus on and to really look at a bit closer. And it did that very quickly, much more quickly than I could. But because I'm also a skilled practitioner, I can take a look at this output and be judicious about its accuracy and its meaningfulness. And this is pretty spot on when I look at it. It's giving me some things to think about. And then I'm asking, because it's something that we're being very explicit about and for good reason right now, which phonics skills this young writer would benefit from practicing. And it's giving me very specific targeted skills to think about supporting differently and better there. Lastly, one of the biggest complaints that, we are hearing in the world of writing instruction and reading instruction, and in the middle of this war between the science of reading folks and balanced literacy. I'm not one to get involved with wars. I just want to do what makes sense. And I'm hearing people that say that decodable readers are not engaging for young writers, and they're decontextualized. And one of the things that I really have found very beneficial is to use what I know about young writers that I'm serving, their interests, where they live, the sort of thing that they're writing right now. And this young writer is composing a mystery that could be written for an authentic audience, but she also loves the Buffalo Zoo. She's really interested in the bird exhibits there. And now I know a bit about which language skills she needs support with. So if you look at my prompt here, you'll see I wrote, this young writer lives in Buffalo, New York. She loves going to the Buffalo Zoo. She's particularly interested in the bird exhibits there. She's writing her own short story about a mystery that takes place at the zoo. Create a decodable reader that's set there. Ensure that it is built around a mystery that unfolds in the bird exhibit. ensure that it provides practice with the skills that you mention. And the output, again, is really, it's a pretty nifty little story. It's one that I would use to help writers of her age especially begin to block, unmake, define the parts of the whole of a mentor text. It gives her really great practice and some very specific skills that she needs practice in, but it's set inside of a context that she might really appreciate, and it could serve as a great mentor text for her to leap off of as she writes her own. This doesn't mean that we're not going to still look at really gorgeous children's books and excerpts from chapter books as well, and in even artwork and videos and other things to help this young writer fully appreciate what mystery writing is in the wild. But I think that it's helping me, this approach, stay out of a war and really do what's really great for kids. And there's a lot of evidence that I'm seeing in my own small world that's suggesting that these approaches work. This is a bit of a higher level way to use AI to be of service in ways I think that are really good for kids. I'd love to know your thoughts.